guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. So, first thing I wanted to talk about is, well, let me just have a little gander here. Actually, screw it, we'll do a question of the day. We haven't done one for, well, we didn't do one yesterday, so we may as well do one today. If you could attend any cup final in history, what would it be and why? For me, it would have to be the 1975 cup final, the Fulham versus West Ham. Although we lost it, it's the only cup final that Fulham have ever been in terms of domestic cup finals. Obviously, we had our Europa League final against Atletico, and frankly, that would have been a brilliant one to go to as well. But I'm going to say, the Fulham West Ham one, or perhaps the Matthews final with Blackpool. That would have been interesting. So yeah, what final would you guys like to have attended if you could attend any single final in history? Perhaps it was the World Cup in 1966. Perhaps it was last year's World Cup final. Who knows? It depends on where you're from, I suppose. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you've got any ideas for a question of the day, drop them in the comments with the hashtag QOTD. Right, let's get into what we've actually kind of been talking about. Right, so we've got the game against Feyenoord today in the cup. Not the cup, you know what I mean, in the Champions League. Apologies, I'm still going to have to get used to looking up at the camera when I talk. So, we started things off against not against Juventus, against Inter, and this was surprising actually because of how late the goals were actually scored. I did not expect this. The game was dead even in terms of the number of shots that each team had, which is decent. I'd like to see us do a little bit better, but Inter are a decent side, particularly playing at home. So when they took the lead through Peykov, I just assumed that we were probably going to be in for another defeat, but we've not had many, so I figured we could take that one on the chin. However, enter Giuseppe De Laurentiis and Elvis, who, well, frankly, they did the business for us. 2 goals in 2 minutes in the 88th and 90th minute. Absolutely destroyed them. And I was ecstatic. I kind of wish I'd live come that game, to be honest. That was a fucking fantastic one to watch. In the end, anyway. Not finally, of course, what we're talking about. We had Sampdoria, and I'm still in shock as to how we managed to score 5 goals here. I really, really am. As you can see, it was not, and this is the key thing here, Di Placido did not score in the last game, and he did not score in a 5-0 win over Sampdoria. So that, you know, him not scoring in 2 games, that means he's out of form by my book anyway. So a little bit worried on that front. But Catarini scoring himself a hat-trick in this one. And we were 3-0 up after half an hour with Geronimo Garcia adding to his tally as well. Capra added a 5th in 76 minutes, but I just don't know where that result came from. I believe that Catarini also got an assist in this game. I think he assisted on Capra's goal. Or did he? No, he didn't. It was Garcia's goal. He was absolutely monstrous in this game. A 9.7 rating overall is thoroughly deserved as well. I also do apologise for my hair, guys. It just tends to stick up at the back here because of the way my head's shaped. I'm getting a haircut next week, so it should be at least a little bit better. Plus, with it being so damn hot in here, as you can probably tell from the sun blaring through the windows, it's not exactly ideal for that kind of thing either. So, let's go and check out the next game. So, Bari, away from home, struggling, bottom of the table. But as you can see, we didn't exactly batter them in the same respect that you might have expected us to, because of course it is Bari. They're bottom of the league, they're struggling like mad, but it did take a bit of time for Marcelo Di Placido to find his form again, and my god did he, with a hat-trick in the first half against Bari, coming from behind albeit, but admittedly with a sort of instant reply kind of goal. Still, 3-1 up at half-time, we made a 4th through Alejandro Lorenzo, making it 4-1, and then of course Stefano Bertolini actually got on back for Bari late on. They only made it 1 substitution. Sorry, I just noticed that. Sometimes the AI are very strange with their subs, I've noticed. Particularly in Serie A. It just seems to be a bit of a strange one. So, that is what happened. We won 4-2, a good solid result. Another win on the Barbie. What am I talking about? We've won quite a few league games in a row now, which has really rocketed us up the league, but unfortunately still not quite enough to overtake Juventus. Next up we had Cagliari, and a relatively simple homer, but as you can see, a 3rd game in 4 that Marcelo Di Placido did not score in. Is he out of form? He's still got 3 and 4 this month, but it's certainly down by his usual standards, let's put it that way. Albin Arapi gave us the lead on 54 minutes before Stefan Ervig Drupal made it 2-0, and that's all we really needed in this game. A good, solid win, nothing too fancy, they're a good side, but we beat them, and that's the main thing. So, let's take ourselves to the, no, not the squad, we're going to do the Serie A league table so we can take a look gander. So we're currently a point off the top, but, as you can see, 20 points above 2nd place Napoli, and 21 above Genoa, but they do have a game in hand, so that's very important to note. Now, Marcelo Di Placido has already scored 38 times in 26 league appearances. He needs 5 more goals in his next 12 games to beat Norman Millington's record, and I fully believe he will do that. As you can see, Capra as well is leading the league for assists with 18, which is truly fantastic. We've scored a lot of goals this season. Yes, we have conceded a lot of goals too, but we've still scored plenty, and that's the main thing. So yeah, Bari, of course, as you can see, struggling and will probably be relegated within the next month and a half or so. Let's take a quick gander at the squad before we get going again. Right, so top goal scorer, of course, is Di Placido, 44 and 36. The ratio has come down ever so slightly, but it is still an absurd amount of goals. And if he plays 50 games for us this year, I expect 65 goals potentially. No, wait. Well, at the moment, he'd get 58, but I think he might even play more than 50 games for us this year. It just depends heavily on kind of where things rest for us, essentially. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So, top assister as well is Simone Capra with 21 assists from 29 games, or 35 if you count the substitute appearances, which we do. That is a ridiculous amount of assists. He has broken the league record on assists as well, I believe, so top man is all I can say to him. We've had some bids in, but they only want to pay like £3 million for him. I assume it's because of his age, but even so, that's still not good enough. So, hopefully, we can pull off something special today. Now, apologies as well if my commentary seems a little bit disjointed at times today. It's because I'm struggling to get used to the slightly different style. I've got the screen further forward, I'm sitting slightly further back, I'm having to sort of be conscious of the fact that I am now being filmed, so it's slightly more difficult. So also apologies guys, if there is no facecam video on this video, it's because something went wrong with the video. I'm still not quite sure what I'm doing with it, but I'm getting there, and that's the main thing. It's always important to try these things. So let's get into the match preview against Feyenoord today. Let's just jump in and try and go for it. Let's see if there's anything else I need to discuss. Not really, no, we're good. I've got some more stuff to discuss on tomorrow's episode on Paris, but that's all stuff relevant to that series and not this one. So, Feyenoord against Roma. Now, obviously, when we're doing things, I'm going to have to look at the screen, so I do apologise for that, guys. I'm going to be moving myself around the screen so I'm not blocking out anything important as well, so don't worry about that. The camera won't be getting in the way of anything that's paramount to the episode, so to speak. So, we're away from home first, which is... Oh my god, sorry, I've been playing my Djibouti Duty save again. I wished it would remember the settings for each save, but hey. So, Garcia's injury is not exactly ideal, and with Keita having to come in due to the injury and the ineligibility of Erwin Druppel, because unfortunately he was cup-tied, having played for Bayern Munich earlier in the competition. So, Di Placido, Catarini, Capra, Keita, Falcao, Zivkovic, Lamantia, Peluso, Arapi and Mainardi, with Brignoli in goal. A fairly strong lineup. The bench is looking pretty decent as well. We're going for a defensive positioning approach. That's what my assistant suggested, and I can't see any reason to disagree with him, so let's just go for it. It's the away game against Feyenoord. It's going to be a cracker. We are apparently the favourites, so that is a good sign, but they are clearly done well enough to win their group, to come second in their group and get through, so they clearly can't be too bad. Let's just see, it makes it a bit easier for us. And yeah, there we go. De Jong, Owusu, Blanchard, Lamar, Alexandre, Bracciolello, oh dear, Hendricks, Sanabria, that's a different one though, DeLong, and Miftiu, and with Montenegro in goal. So I wonder if he's probably not Montenegrin, is he? He's most likely, yeah, not Montenegrin. So, right, Burgos, let's get this one set up, and we should be good to go. Right, let's do this. We're playing in a sort of one of our change strips. So I haven't really seen this change strip that much, to be honest, guys. So this is a new one for us. Not really new. We've played it a few times, but we don't seem to need to change our kit very often, which is great, actually. It might actually be our third kit. I can't remember. Falcao into Catarini. Out to Capra, up to Di Placido. We really... Oh, actually, one second. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. That way we can put me underneath it and not have to worry about me getting in the way of the stats, because that's important. And a long strike there from Catarini, just putting that past the post. I've also, since I've been using it on my laptop, just push that in a little bit so we don't have too much of the screen being taken up by stats, eh? But yeah, so I'm going to move the camera down to about this sort of level. On Di Placido, and he's hit the post there, and Hendricks puts it out of play. We've started well, but we have only hit the target on one of our shots. But so far, it's looking like it's going in our favour. We need some overlaps here. We need... Keita's going to lose the ball here, and he has done. Miftiu, and there's a lot of space for Owusu down this right-hand side. But yeah, so the camera's going to be about this sort of level rather than up there, and that's going to be making it much, much easier for me, because I won't have to keep looking up. And Blanchard ran to the back post, and what about that? He's hit the post, and Mainardi... Bloody hell. Guys, we are cutting it a bit fine here. We cannot afford to keep doing this. Mainardi with the throw-in. To Falcao, back to Keita on the edge of the area, and he strikes it bottom corner. That is more like it. I'm just going to take a drink. You're going to notice that a lot more, guys, but it's so hot in here that I can't avoid doing it, unfortunately. Oh, goddamn. Whew, that is a great strike from Keita in the bottom corner. We've got our away goal. We've got a good start to the game. 90% possession, 57% pass completion. You can't go wrong with that, really. That is this match, I have to say. Let's just see what we're doing here. Falcao pulls it back to the edge of the area. Keita takes one touch on the shot and drills it through a line of defenders and into the back of the net. That's better. 1-0 to Roma, the perfect start to the game. Now, if we could just sort of... to be honest, I'd take a 1-0 win if we could get it. But if we could get a second goal and... Oh, Blanchard cutting inside and... Oh, what about that? That is... Holy shit. That's incredible. I've never seen us clear the ball off the line like that before. Usually, then again, if this was Paris FC, Abraham and Barr would have come barreling in there and put that in the back of his own net. So we can be thankful that he doesn't play for Roma, really, can't we? Oh, Falcao should have really maybe done a bit better there. Owusu, he's got plenty of coming forward. Not PSG. Feyenoord are a decent side, quite clearly. They're actually probably playing the better football now. Things have really swung in their favour over the past 5 minutes. They haven't changed the system so much, but they are really kind of getting into this game. But the point is, we do have the away goal, and that can be absolutely vital in these sort of situations. You know, we're going to bring them back to our home ground in the next match, and I feel like at home against them, we could probably do them. Oh, get in there, Falcao as well. Caterini, we've got a break on now. Up to Capra. Where is Di Placido? He's pulling into the channel now. He's running through, but he's got men around him. Can't cut inside, goes back to Caterini. Caterini to shoot, to Capra, to Zivkovic. He has to score, and he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't score. Okay, at least hit the target from there, eh? You know, just at least hit the target. Would have been pleasant. But hey, what can you do? We can keep going. Wow, oh no. We are really struggling on this left-hand side, guys. Who have we even got? We don't have anyone that can play the left-hand side, because one's injured, now another one's injured, the other one's ineligible. I'm going to bring on Elvis. I know that's a strange move, but I just feel like a bit of his sort of pace on this left-hand side might be all that we can really hope for, and just try to utilise his stats, even though he's perhaps not perfect for that role. But losing Keita like that isn't ideal. But the last thing we need to do is keep an injured player on the pitch and end up having all kinds of problems. Brancello, don't foul him. Oh, thank God. Miff to you. Great tackle from Elvis, doing a bit more tracking back there. Di Placido, damn it, Di Placido. He's not looked that solid today. There we go, Falcao on the ball, but he, again, doesn't follow it up. We're a little bit backs against the wall at the moment, and that is a little bit worrying for me so far. If we could just avoid doing that, that would be glorious. Owusu, oh, what a strike, and cleared away by Arapi, and they've hit the woodwork a few times today, and We've rode our luck in this first half. We've not been the better side. They have been, not vastly the better side, but definitely the better team, and thoroughly deserve to have had at least a goal. But the point is, sometimes you don't get the luck, and at the moment, we are getting it. So that's nice. Hopefully in the second half, we can kind of continue that vein of luck more than anything else. And yeah, I'll keep an eye on their system, though, just in case they do try anything a little bit fruity for this second period. We've not hit the target much. I am going to then try that team talk tip I was given again and see. So, yeah. We've got a 30% target, 30% accuracy at the moment is not brilliant. I want to see if we can improve that in this second half by just telling him to concentrate a bit more. Get Di Placido on the ball a bit more as well. He's not done a lot today. Di Placido around the corner for Caterini, has to score, doesn't, but he did hit the target, and, you know, I'm taking credit for that. But, yeah. Oh, crap. Alexandre's ball in, somebody win the header, cleared away, and Caterini will bring this down. Placido, the chance was there to make the break there, and unfortunately Caterini was just dispossessed before he could make a proper break of it. Sanabria now. Somebody perhaps go out to him? Alexandre. They're going to pass this straight through us and score. I can just feel it. They've got too many players forward. It's too tight of an angle. De Jong, and it's cleared away by Arapi again. He is good at this last-ditch stuff, Arapi, in the sense that when the ball is already played through and the ball is loose in the box, he does seem to be able to get to it very quickly. The problem is, it's the bit before that where we're allowing them through, and that's where he's kind of at fault quite a lot, it seems. But he's still young and he will learn, as Sven would say. So, still plenty to come from him, I sense. Bracciello. Oh, Capra's got it. Right, okay, go. Di Placido again now. This time he did manage to bring it down, but he's all alone up there, and he's going to have to try and hold the ball up, and I'm not sure how good at doing that he is, and well, we've just found out how good at doing that he is, really, haven't we? Owusu now pulling it out wide. If we get away with a 1-0 win here, I would consider that an absolutely glorious result, but I have a horrible feeling that that is not going to be the result at the end of this match. We might have beat Juventus 1-0 in our last live com, but I can't see us doing it away from home here. But if we were to get a second goal, that would be, for me, practically game over. 2 away goals, and the home game to come would be perfect, but I just don't see that happening. They've been the better team, and they thoroughly deserve at least a goal out of this game, but hopefully we're not going to give it to them. Blanchard into Lamar in the middle. Alexandre. De Jong, Owusu, and once again cleared by Peluso. Very inexperienced centre-back partnership, but they're doing a good job for us this year. The main thing I'm going to be looking for in the summer is defenders. Owusu's through. What a save! Brignoli there is absolutely... wow. He's made some stunning saves for us this year, and that's a really poor effort there from Capra. We are playing a little bit backs against the wall now. Still getting more possession than them, though, and that is the key for me. As long as we can continue to dominate possession, or not dominate, but at least have at least have slightly better possession than them. Oh, and here we go. That's going to do it for us. Alexandre. Johan. Gohan. That was a... what the fuck am I saying? Right then. Oh, okay. That was weird. Usually they take ages over the free kick after a red card, but for once, it actually moved on quite quickly. Perhaps because it was a second yellow card. Right. maybe a substitution in a little while. I might wait till sort of 75 actually, since we have already made one, and I might only make one when we come to the 75 unless there's someone that really clearly needs it, because I don't want to get caught short if we get another injury. Usually if I get one injury in a game, for some reason I feel like I'm going to get another one after that. It might just put me on edge a little bit. Owusu now to Frizza. That's a cool name, or Fritza. Round the corner for Owusu. Oh, what a save again! I know it's offside, but hell, that was an absolutely stunning... Okay, I'm going to make a substitution now. Who are we going to go for? Who have we even got on the bench? Should I do it? Should we bring on Slavidanchev? I don't know. Deepacito's not looking that knackered, to be honest, so I think it might be wise if we just get Llorentes on for Zivkovic, who is looking like the most knackered of the players we've got left. Not at the best game either, so we'll get Di Laurentiis on for the final 20, and I might just leave it at that in terms of substitutions, because I don't want to have to play any time in this game with 10 men, unlike Feyenoord are. If we were to concede a goal now against 10 men, I'd be a little bit disappointed, but I think we should be able to get over the line now. Or we maybe even be able to get a second goal. That could do us wonders. Ball in, cleared away. Catarini should knock this back out wide. Elvis to Falcao into Capra. Will he shoot from range? Knocks it around the corner for Catarini. Has to shoot. He does! It is 2-0 to Roma in the 86th minute. Ricardo Catarini with his 13th goal of the season. And that is more like it. I think we are going through to the next round of the Champions League. We've won the away leg by 2-0. Capra does really, really well here, because I thought he was going to shoot, but he pulls it back to Catarini, and that is a lovely effort there. Past the goalkeeper, 2-0 to Roma, and surely that's game over. And tie over, you'd have to feel. I feel they're going to struggle to beat us by 2 goals, or 3 goals rather, at home. And I think they're a bit unlucky. In fact, they're very unlucky, because they've actually played quite well today and have had some really good chances. But for me, man of the match is all about Brignoli today. He's been superb. I know he's not going to get a very good rating, probably. 8.1. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. But for me, a goalkeeper that plays that sort of game, particularly with keeping a clean sheet in the process, should get a much higher rating than 8.1. It seems to be very hit and miss with goalkeepers, whether or not they get man of the match, and it's a shame, because I'd like to see that happen more, particularly with some of the performances that Brignoli, particularly, has put in for us over the years. So, that is a 2-0 win for us against Feyenoord. In the next episode, I'm thinking... Actually, I might do a double live com, just so it's not just Feyenoord again. We might do a Feyenoord-Lazio doubler. That way we can have a bit of Derby Day action as well as the... In fact, to be honest, because we're already through to the next round, seemingly so, we've pretty much dominated that, I might just do the Lazio game, rather than you guys having to see a dead rubber match at home that will probably win. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I hope the face cam's gone down all right. I do apologise if it hasn't. Like, it's one of those things where I'm going to get better at doing this and hopefully change the setup slightly to make it much easier for me to do so. The camera will be here instead of up here. So yeah, hopefully that's gone okay. If you have liked what you've seen, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like it even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Outcast icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for Derby Day action again against Lazio, but potentially featuring a draw as well for the next round of the Champions League, because I presume that will be in between. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.